What are the right things to include in your content strategy? And I know you might be like, okay, today we are talking about the content strategy. Let me bring you up to speed. So last week I did a video on every strategy that content creators usually use. And if you haven't watched that video, I'm going to link it up here as well as in the description bar down below. And in there, I talked about all the strategies that content creators usually implement in their content plan so that they can be able to achieve the success they get as content creators. And this is a follow-up to that video, so I would highly recommend you watch that video first and then you come back here. And if you're wondering who I am, hi, my name is Gloria and I'm here to help you build your value and find your freedom. Otherwise, I value your time and you already know why you're here. So let's get to it. First things first, what is a content strategy? So a content strategy is a plan that you actually follow through in order for you to be consistent in the way you create and produce your content on whichever platform you're on. So a content strategy is just like a map. It's a map that directs you on what to do when you're creating your content. So a content strategy is mainly supposed to help you to stay consistent with your content, how you produce your content, how you schedule it, when you go live, as well as how you maintain your content base for your business or your hobby, if content creation is your hobby. So a content strategy is just meant to help you stay consistent in the way you do content creation. So the first thing I need you to understand is that when you're building a content strategy, you're building a content strategy for a particular platform. So your content strategy is supposed to be platform specific, mainly because different platforms usually have different rules of being a content creator on that. So if something is working on Instagram, it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna work on YouTube and so on. Whichever content strategy that you're building, it has to be platform specific. So if you're building a content strategy for YouTube, it has to be specific to the rules and the regulations that work with content creators on that platform. And then the second thing I like you to note is that in your content strategy, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. I feel like content creators don't create strategies because they feel it has to work 100% of the time. No, it doesn't work 100% of the time. Most of the time, your content strategy will need some tweaks here and there. There are things that are gonna work and there are things that are not gonna work. So it's all about experimenting, trying things out, and figuring out what works for you. Now, let's talk about building that content strategy. So there are mainly three things that go into a content strategy, and we're gonna start with the first one, which is your posting schedule. And I know you're gonna frown at this point because honestly, I feel like people don't like this part of a content strategy. And yes, guys, you have to be strict. The way we used to go to school and then you found a timetable, you need to have a timetable for your content. And that is why your content schedule is important. Now, what really goes into a content schedule? There are actually three things that go into a content schedule. And the first thing is going to be, when are you going to post your content? Now, in a week, we have 5 days. Five? No, we have 7 days. Ooh, I'm losing count of weeks now. There's a problem. But anyway, in a week we have 7 days, so that is Monday all the way through to Sunday. And in the between those days, you have to pick specific days that you want to be posting your content. Now, depending on the number of pieces of content you want to be releasing each and every single week, you will have to double down and try to figure out which are going to be your content posting days. And then the second thing should be, what are you going to post? So depending on which platform you're going to be on, you're going to decide on what kind of content you are going to be posting. So is it video? Is it carousels? Is it single posts? Are you posting pictures? What kind of content are you going to be posting? And then the third thing that you're going to want to consider is your frequency of posting. So within a week, how many times are you going to be posting? I post 3 times on my YouTube channel. So in a week, I need to know that I have 3 videos that are ready up and running, they need to go live, right? But you decide, are you going to be posting 2 times? Are you going to be posting 3 times, 4 times, 5 times? Depending on whatever works for you, choose that and stick to it. And then the second thing that goes into a content strategy is your promotion strategy. And guys, this is very, very important because this is what is going to help you to communicate with the algorithm. When it comes to a promotion strategy, also, there are 3 things that you're supposed to consider. And the first thing that you want to consider is where exactly are you going to be promoting your pieces of content. Now, this one can be on the platform that you have posted on, as well as any other platform you feel that you need to promote on. Now, for me, my promotion strategy is usually wide. I usually promote my videos on my WhatsApp, my Instagram, my Pinterest, as well as my Twitter. And I know you might be like, okay, what? You do that? Yes, I do that because that is part of my promotion strategy. And because I already have a pool of people who are interested in me as a person on other platforms, I figured that that would be a great way for me to promote my content. And then the second thing that you want to consider is when are you actually going to be promoting your pieces of content? So are you going to be promoting them immediately they go live, or are you gonna wait for like a day or two before you talk about it? And then what time are you going to be talking about it? So for me, for instance, I usually talk about my video 30 minutes after it has gone live. So immediately my video goes live, I'm the first person to watch. Considering that all my videos are usually between 10 to 15 minutes long, I usually watch the entire way before I start spreading the message. And then the third thing that you want to consider is how you're going to be promoting these pieces of content. Now, when it comes to how, like the question, how are you gonna do another content that you're gonna talk about what you did in that content? Are you going to take a clip or a bite-sized piece of that content and share it? Are you going to just share the link, or are you going to tweet about it? How exactly are you going to be promoting this piece of content that you have shared? And then the final thing that goes into your content strategy or your content plan, wow, I had lost that word. So what the last thing that goes into your content strategy is your engagement strategy. And the reason why this is important, it's because, as always, I think I'm gonna be repeating this a lot in the videos that I do for content creation. Social media is social, so you have to be social. If you want someone to engage with your content, you have to engage with theirs. If you want someone to actually leave your comment, boop the like button, you also have to do that to someone else so that they notice you and they come and check you out. What I'm trying to say in those many words is that your engagement strategy is important because you have to show people that you're social. You're not just a content creator, you're also a person. The first thing that goes into an engagement strategy is how long will you be engaging for. So for me in particular, I usually engage for 1 hour on my Instagram account. I usually engage on YouTube for 2 hours, mainly because YouTube is my primary platform, which I just dedicate to engaging. And that means I reply to my DMs, I make sure I reply to each and every person's comment, I go through people's stories and all these things. And then the second thing is going to be how often are you going to be engaging. So for me in particular, there are days I have labeled that are just for engagement. So on Monday, on Wednesday, as well as on Friday are my engagement days. So on that particular day, on my primary platforms, I usually don't post any content. I'm just there to make sure I engage with the people who are engaging with me. And then the third thing that goes into an engagement strategy is how will you engage? Are you gonna be engaging in a way that is going to be friendly, or are you just gonna be leaving emojis? I personally just leave meaningful comments when I'm engaging with accounts. Also, when I get DMs, I try to be friendly with the way I speak to my audience. I don't like being too salesy because as much as I have a business, I am also social and I'm a person, and I want the people people who engage with me feel I see them as a creator. And that's it. Honestly, whatever goes into a content strategy is not a lot. Those are the three main things that goes into a content strategy, and I really hope you learned how to build your own content strategy. But if you need me to do another video where we build a content strategy from scratch, then do let me know in the comment section down below, and I'm gonna do that video for you. Otherwise, that is it. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you did find this video helpful, then make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't done so already. I would recommend the video on how to start an online business, because I feel like when you become a content creator, you are starting a business. So I'm going to link it up here as well as in the description bar down below so that you can check it out. But otherwise, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Is there something I've forgotten to say? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe down below. Okay, that's it. Bye.